You know, in the quiet hum of servers all around the world, there's a silent war being fought. It's not for land, it's not for resources. It's a battle for the mind of the machines we're building, a fight for control inside the very AI systems we're starting to trust with, well, everything. So what if the very knowledge an AI depends on could be corrupted? I mean, really poisoned from the inside out, turning a helpful assistant into a saboteur that doesn't even know it's been compromised. And listen, this isn't some far-off sci-fi plot. This is happening right now. It's the front line of a brand new kind of warfare. The target in this whole conflict isn't just a piece of software. It's something new. It's a digital brain, one that has a direct pipeline to all of the world's information. Okay, so to really get the threat here, we have to look under the hood at the target's core design. A lot of the most powerful AIs out there are using a system called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. It's what makes them so powerful. And, as it turns out, it's also their biggest weakness. The easiest way to think about RAG is like the AI's own personal research librarian. It's constantly connecting the model's built-in knowledge to these huge external libraries of data that are updated by the second. This is what lets it answer questions about current events or access your private company docs and actually stay relevant. But what happens if somebody can poison the library? Every fortress has a blueprint, right? And every single blueprint has potential weak spots. For this digital brain, the vulnerability isn't in the walls. It's in the very way it thinks and remembers. See, an attacker doesn't need to smash down the front door. They can just slip in through the back. They go after the AI's memory, the absolute foundation of everything it knows. And this memory, it isn't stored like a simple file. Oh no, it's way more complex than that. That complex structure is built on something called vector embeddings. And you gotta understand, this is the fundamental language of the AI's mind. Every single piece of information, a word, a sentence, a whole document, gets converted into a unique string of numbers, a vector. It's less like a file and way more like digital DNA. It defines the relationships between every single concept the AI understands. So here's the absolute crux of it. If you can change those numbers, if you can get in and manipulate that digital DNA, you're not just changing a piece of data. You are fundamentally altering the AI's entire perception of reality. You can make it believe lies, you can make it ignore the truth, and you can make it follow your hidden commands. And this isn't just theory. This is not a what if. These weaknesses are being actively exploited. So let's take a look at how a ghost actually gets into the machine. All right, the first and most direct method is called data poisoning. It's basically a digital Trojan horse. An attacker embeds malicious instructions inside a piece of data that looks totally harmless, something the AI is supposed to learn from. Just imagine an AI that's supposed to be screening resumes. An attacker sends in a resume, but hidden in white text on a white background is that command. The AI reads it, processes it into its vector knowledge base, and bam, suddenly, a totally unqualified candidate is sitting at the top of the list. The AI has just been tricked into lying, and no one is the wiser. Now, the next attack is way more subtle. It doesn't tell the AI to lie. Instead, it changes its personality. It strips away the very qualities that made it useful in the first place. So look at this. On the left, you have a user asking for help with some really overwhelming student loan debt. The original AI responds with empathy. But after a RAG system feeds it nothing but cold, hard, factual data, look at how its response changes. It becomes blunt, technically correct, but completely useless from a human perspective. The attack has essentially lobotomized the AI's emotional intelligence. Attackers don't always want to change what the AI does. Sometimes they just want to listen. And by exploiting the way vector databases are shared, they can turn the AI into a spy that doesn't even know it's spying. So if the security controls are weak, one user can literally trick the AI into giving up another user's secrets. This is a massive risk in any system where different companies are sharing the same AI platform. And it gets worse. Some attacks can even reverse engineer the embeddings, turning those strings of numbers back into the original sensitive data they came from. But for every attack, there's a defense. This silent war has two sides. While the attackers are out there looking for weaknesses, the defenders are busy building a digital immune system to fortify the fortress. The response is disciplined and methodical. Step 1. Authenticate every single piece of data. If you can't trust the source, you just can't trust the info, period. Step 2. Partition the data. You build digital walls so that information from one user can never, ever leak to another. Step 3. Log everything.
Create an unchangeable record so you can trace any suspicious activity. And finally, constant validation and review, always hunting for that hidden code and any signs of poisoning.
This constant back and forth between attacker and defender, it has huge consequences that go way beyond just lines of code. This is an invisible war for the future of information itself. The real stakes here, they're not about code, they're about trust. I mean, if an AI's memory can be poisoned, how can we ever trust its judgment? If a financial model's data gets corrupted, it could trigger a market crash. If a self-driving car's perception is altered, it might mistake a stop sign for a speed limit. This isn't just a bug, it's a fundamental crisis of reality for the machines we're coming to rely on.
So as we hand over more and more of our world to these incredibly powerful new minds, we're left with one critical question. We are building these digital guardians to manage our information, our finances, our lives. But in this new world, who's guarding the guardians?